The JoLynn Braley Show, episode 156, the best weight loss present you could ever get. Hello and welcome. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Kick-Ass Inner Self Diet, which is the proven proprietary step-by-step coaching system to permanent weight loss. The Inner Self Diet ends your binge eating, ends your emotional eating, ends your self-sabotage, ends your yo-yo dieting. It ends all of that muckmire so that you can just easily live a healthy lifestyle, drop the fat, and keep it off. And this is the JoLynn Braley Show. This show here on iTunes or wherever you may be listening to it, I know it's also on Stitcher and a few other places. The JoLynn Braley Show premiered in January 2013, so we're coming up on 3 years of this weekly show. Today is episode 156, and we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is the best weight loss present you could ever get. And first, I need to make a correction in this title, because the proper title is, this is the best weight loss present you could ever give yourself. Why? Why the correction? Because you can't get the best weight loss present that I'm going to tell you about today on today's episode. No one else can give it to you. You have to give it to yourself, and it requires investing in yourself. It requires investing on multiple levels in order to give yourself the best weight loss present you could ever give yourself. But first, before we get to that, just a couple of things. If this is your first time tuning into the JoLynn Braley Show, if you have not heard of me or this show over the past 3 years, if you have not been following me online since 2007 when I started my first website, if you have not tuned into any of my periscopes, I've done almost 300 periscopes since August 15th. You can follow me on Periscope at JoLynn Braley. You can find me on Twitter at JoLynn Braley. You can find me on Facebook when you go to thejolynnbraleyshow.com. By the way, when you go to thejolynnbraleyshow.com and you click like to like our Facebook page, you will get a shout out from me on the podcast on an upcoming episode. If you haven't heard of me ever before, if you're not following me on Google Plus or Stumble Upon or any of the social media sites out there that are popular and well known, Pinterest, you could find me on any of these places under my name, JoLynn Braley. If you've never heard of me before, what I do is I am a world-class, highly skilled, highly trained, highly certified permanent weight loss coach. And I am the best permanent weight loss coach, and I'll tell you why. I don't tell my clients what to eat, how to eat, when to eat, or what kind of exercise to do. They actually know that. They have so much information about healthy eating and healthy exercise. In fact, I've even had clients. In fact, I have a current client who's a dietitian. I have had clients who own gyms. I've had clients who are raw food chefs. These people that I coach, they know what they need to do to release the fat from their body. Their problem is that they're not doing it. They are plagued with a lifetime of self-sabotage, yo-yo dieting, binge eating, out of control, compulsive overeating, late night binges, stuffing themselves in front of the television. They can lose weight, but then they always put it back on. I've had many clients who have been at their goal weight in the past, and they said that what they noticed is that when they got to their goal weight, they still didn't feel happy. They still didn't feel good about themselves, and they just lived in constant fear of gaining the weight back. So what I do is I coach them through my world-class coaching system, which is proven to work for every client I've worked with. As long as you do the steps, it will work for you and you will achieve struggle-free permanent success with your weight. Of course, it doesn't work for anybody who doesn't do the steps. You have to actually take action. Yeah, you got to take action. And when you do, then all of this stuff that is keeping you fat, frustrated, and fed up, these behaviors. When I say stuff, I'm talking about the behaviors, your inability to stop overeating, your food obsessions, your food addictions, all of that is released. And then what you're left with is yourself feeling good and great about yourself. And then you're easily able to just live a healthy lifestyle, drop the fat, and keep it off. In order to achieve permanent weight loss, it is 90% mindset. I invite you to go to fearlessfatloss.com/show-bonus. That's fearlessfatloss.com/show-bonus. And you can go there and you can opt in for my free 5-day e-course. It will help you discover what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good and also what you can do about it. And on today's show, what the topic is the best weight loss present you could ever get. Oh, correction! The best weight loss present you could ever give yourself. And let's start with that right there. Why is the best weight loss present that you could ever get, why is it really what you could give yourself? Because in order to get the best weight loss present, you have to do it for yourself. There is nobody, I'm sorry to tell you, no one's coming to save you, all right? No one is coming. There is no one out there who is going to give you a magic pill or a magic potion or a magic cleanse. There's no New Year's resolution that can ever heal the root of why you continue to stuff yourself with food when you say you don't want to and you say you want to lose weight. You know, why is it that you can't just eat one cookie? Why do you have to eat the whole box? Why do you continue to put food in your mouth when your body is not physically hungry? All right? In order to heal that so that you don't do it anymore, you have to go from the inside out. And that is something that you have to do for yourself. Nobody can do that for you. Even me as the professional. I don't give my coaching clients permanent weight loss. What I give them is I give them my time. I invest my time and my energy and my focus in them, and I give them the proven steps, and I give them accountability. I give them the options for different accountability levels, and I do everything in my power to help them succeed. I am there for them. I work with them personally in real time over the phone, you know. But in the end, they have to stand up for themselves and do the steps I give them to do. They have to take action, daily action, with steps that are radically different from anything they've ever done. And that's a good thing, because if they could have gotten permanent weight loss by doing what they had been doing, then why would they need me? They wouldn't. So, permanent weight loss is the best weight loss present you could ever give yourself. But there's actually more to that, and really what I would say, because that's the overall outcome, is permanent weight loss. The best weight loss present you could ever give to yourself is the gift of learning how to be 100% okay with yourself. Some people call it self-love, but I really believe that it goes beyond self-love. It's more important to learn how to like yourself even more than loving yourself, and I'll tell you why. All right, here we are in the holiday season. In fact, this podcast episode is the Christmas Eve podcast episode in December 2015. But hey, if you're listening to this in July of 2017, it still applies. All right? Everything in this podcast, it applies no matter what time of year you're listening to this, and no matter what year, because this fact is never going to go away. If you don't learn how to become okay and at peace with yourself and with your body, then you will continue to run away from yourself and try to avoid yourself and run to food to try to feel better, and you'll just continue to be fat, frustrated, and fed up. Even though you're very smart and you're successful professionally, you can have the professional success and the intelligence, and you can be great in your career while still hating your body, feeling ashamed of your binge eating that you do in secret, that you think that you're hiding from people, although everybody knows it because they can see it on your body. Unless you're a binge purger, that's different. But as long as you keep the problem that you have that has never been solved, whatever it is that drives your out of control eating, then you cannot be at peace with yourself and with your body, and you can't achieve permanent weight loss because you'll continue, no matter what time of year it is, to be out of control with your eating. In fact, if you are listening to this during the holiday season and you gained 10, 20, or even 5 pounds, whatever you gained this holiday season, it's not even a problem of the holidays. It doesn't have anything to do with that. If you gain weight every holiday season, you've got a problem that's with you all year long, because folks who have the right mindset and they're easily living a healthy lifestyle, they don't gain weight. They don't gain 10 or 20 pounds every holiday season. They are able to eat just one cookie when they go to a party. They're able to have just one piece of Stollen. They're able to have one gingerbread cookie and be happy with that. And then they don't want more. They're not obsessed with food. They're not addicted to food. Food is not their life. And they're living in the body that they like. And they still go for a run or a walk during the holidays. Most of them even on Christmas Day. Because it's just their way of life. It's not a diet. It's not a forced short-term thing that they do to themselves to punish themselves and feel deprived so that they can get to some place that they think they want to go, that when they get there they don't even like it because they hated the journey that they took to get there. That's not a healthy lifestyle. That's a diet mentality, and that's a result of a fat mindset. If you want to get off of all of that, if you want to get off of that hamster wheel and the pain and the drain of ongoing struggles with food and your weight, then the best weight loss present you could ever give yourself is a healing, an inner self healing that heals the root of these behaviors so that you are completely free of them, so that you can actually like yourself, be happy with yourself, enjoy yourself, and then enjoy others in your life. And food will be a part of your life because you are a human being. Guess what? You need to have food because you live in a human body. But it's a completely different life all year round. When you have the right mindset, when you've got a weight loss mindset, which needs to transform into a fit mindset, because once you release the fat from your body and you reach your goal weight, you're not looking at losing weight for the rest of your life, right? You want to get to your goal weight and maintain that for the rest of your life. And that is what you do when you've got a weight loss mindset. And then when you get to your goal weight, that transforms into a fit mindset. Who's a great example of this is one of my coaching clients, Dave, who I coached in 2010. He was 90 pounds overweight. He struggled his whole life with yo-yo dieting. And he said, enough, I don't want to do this anymore. And he hired me. He did the Inner Self Diet. I coached him through it. That was in 2010. He dropped the 90 pounds. It took him about a year to release the 90 pounds. I talked to him this year in 2015, almost 6 years later. And I recorded that interview. Guess what? You can hear it and get inspired. The way to find that is to go to fearlessfatloss.com/blog and scroll down to the bottom of the page. At the time of this podcast recording, this is how the website is set up. At the bottom of the page, there's a search box, and if you type in that search box, just type in there 90 pounds, 90 pounds, and then that should take you to the post that has Dave's audio interview recording in it, and you can listen to it and get inspired by him. Yeah, you really can achieve permanent weight loss even after a whole year, or a whole lifetime of yo-yo dieting and overeating. Like Dave said, in the past, if he would say that he was going to have pizza, what that meant was eat the whole pizza. Today, if he says, I'm going to have pizza, what that means is having one piece. And he just lives a healthy lifestyle. You know what's funny is one of my newest clients in the Inner Self Diet said that she listened to his audio interview recording, his total success call, the one I just told you about. And then she also listened to, I have several of these on the website, fearlessfatloss.com. And the way that you find them is when you go to fearlessfatloss.com/blog, at the top there is a navigation menu, and there is a link that says testimonials, and when you hover on that, there should be a drop down, and one of them says audio interviews or audio testimonials, and when you click on that, there's a whole page there of a whole bunch of these audio recordings. And so my new client, she listened to Dave's, and then she also listened to somebody, I think she listened to Marsha, and Marsha's was a recording that I did with her right after she graduated the Inner Self Diet. And my new client, Andrea, made a comment. She said there was a big difference between listening to Marsha, who had just graduated the Inner Self Diet, and listening to Dave, who he graduated so many years ago. And she said what she noticed is that with Dave, it was just who he was. You know, he's so far removed from that place where he used to live, where he struggled with food and weight. And today it's just who he is. He lives a healthy lifestyle. But see, that's what you need to be. That's what you have to become if you are serious about achieving permanent success with your weight. There is no diet on the planet that will ever give you permanent weight loss. No food diet. The Inner Self Diet will, but the Inner Self Diet is not a food diet. There is no food diet on the planet that will give you permanent weight loss, because there is no food diet on the planet that will heal. What is the problem here? Why do you turn to food to feel better? Why do you put food in your mouth when you're not physically hungry? Why do you yo-yo diet? Why do you sabotage yourself? Food diets aren't meant to heal the real problem. A food diet is a solution for you if you have no idea about how to eat a healthy diet each day. If you're somebody who has no nutritional information, no nutritional knowledge, you exist on fast food and frozen food, and you just are clueless, then if you have no mindset problems, and you totally love yourself, and you totally love your body even though it's overweight, and you don't criticize yourself for overeating, you don't beat up on yourself, you don't hate yourself, you don't feel ashamed, you're not binge eating in secret, you're not feeling like you're a big fat monster failure because you can't lose weight. If you have none of these problems, and your only problem is that you just are clueless about nutrition, then all you need is a healthy nutritional plan, and then you'll just go do it, because you don't have any of the inner self problems, which is what 99.9% of the obese and overweight are struggling with. It's highly unusual for a person to just simply not know how to eat right. There are too many problems that occur from being overweight and all of the negativity that you heap upon yourself, which can start with other people, because these problems, they start when you're a child for most people, I'd say. I have not ever had a client who these problems with the body image, the overeating, the self-esteem, the limiting beliefs, I've never had a client who didn't have these problems start in their childhood. Now, I've had clients who are like me, who these problems started in their childhood, but they weren't overweight in their childhood. Okay? And that's the experience that I had. These issues and the negative thoughts, the negative beliefs, the challenges with the self-confidence, the self-belief, self-esteem, body image, all of these things, for me, they started when I was really small, 7 years old, and I was a skinny kid, but I thought I was fat. But it wasn't for many years until my body actually represented the fat also. But, the problem actually started when I was a kid. And that's how it is for all of my coaching clients. And that's another reason why these food diets don't solve this problem. And they're not supposed to either, because that's not what a food diet is for. So, the best weight loss present you could ever give yourself is the present of the inner self healing, releasing the binge eating, releasing the drama, releasing the food addiction, releasing all of this internal stuff that drives you to continue to obsess about food, to feel bad about yourself, to keep putting food in even when you're not physically hungry, to be mean to yourself. The best weight loss present you could ever give yourself is the gift of healing and learning how to like yourself, accept yourself, be nice to yourself, so that you can move on from these abusive, unhealthy behaviors and actually step into the place where it's easy for you to live a healthy lifestyle, release the fat, and keep it off. What if you could do that? Okay, it's time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show, and today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is EasyFunWeightLoss.com. EasyFunWeightLoss.com is the place to go to grab a free copy of my ebook. It will give you 3 simple steps that you can take right now to start making weight loss easy and fun from the inside out. And if you actually take action with those steps, then you will notice a shift. So you can grab that free ebook at EasyFunWeightLoss.com. All right, shout outs. How do you get a shout out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show? It's really easy. Go to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com. Click like to like our Facebook page, and you'll get a shout out on an upcoming episode. It's super simple and it's fun, and it's a cool way to acknowledge the listeners, the audience of the JoLynn Braley Show, and say hello. And this week's shout out goes out to Cheyenne. Cheyenne, thank you so much for liking the JoLynn Braley Show Facebook page, and thanks for listening. And I invite you to leave a comment on the Facebook page at thejolynnbraleyshow.com and tell me, what's your biggest aha that you got out of this episode? Tell me if there's a topic that you'd really like to hear me talk about. Tell me what your biggest weight loss challenge is. That's a good one. Tell me what your biggest challenge is with achieving permanent success with your weight, and then I can see what you what I can take out of that, what you your comments that you leave me on the Facebook page, and see what topics I could do for the podcast here. So Cheyenne, thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you leave me a comment on the Facebook page. And for the rest of you, just go over to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com, like the Facebook page. You'll get a shout out on an upcoming episode. By the way, I want to tell you that I also do a monthly live free weight loss class. And obviously these podcasts are not live. And the benefit of the podcast is you can listen to this wherever you are. And the benefit of the free weight loss class is that it's live and you can come there and benefit from the live teaching. And then if you have a question, you can ask me there live. And the way to get on the free weight loss class, in fact, there's one coming up on Monday. And just go to freeweightlossclass.com and register there. And just register, no matter when you listen to this, just register and then you'll get in line for the next class. And you can do that at freeweightlossclass.com. All right, a couple of questions for you to ask yourself. On every episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, I give you questions to ask yourself. I highly recommend that you write the question down, pen on paper, and then write the answer down, pen on paper. Why? Because there is a connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart when you write pen on paper. You do not get that connection when you type on a keyboard. You absolutely don't get the connection at all when you just listen. So why not take advantage of this free weight loss classes, this free podcast? I was just thinking about the free weight loss class because I just told you about it, which again, you can register for at freeweightlossclass.com. You can connect with me live on the free weight loss class. Oh, you know what? Another way to connect with me live too is on Periscope. Follow me on Periscope. Just look up my name, JoLynn Braley. Follow me on there. Get notifications when I go live. Those are very short. The free weight loss class, of course, is more involved. So on the podcast, which is where we are now, take out your pen and paper. Write these questions down to take full advantage of this free podcast. Obviously, you can't do this if you're driving, so just pause the podcast. Get your pen and paper when you're parked or when you are at your desk and write the question down, then write your answer down. First question: what would your life be like right now if you had no more struggle with food and your weight? What would your life be like right now if you had no more struggle with food and your weight? Which would mean that you would have already given yourself the best weight loss present you could ever give yourself. You would have already gotten the coaching you needed. You would have already invested in yourself. Yes, guess what? You've got to invest in yourself to get professional coaching. It's not free. And if it were free, you wouldn't get permanent weight loss. Because if you don't have skin in the game, if you haven't invested financially in yourself, then you're not committed. If you haven't invested your time in yourself, you're not committed. And you would get no value. So you have to pony up and you've got to invest in yourself financially to get permanent weight loss if you want to do it in the least amount of time possible and you want it to work. Could you do it on your own? I don't know. How could you do it? If you've never done it before, then how are you going to do it now? Do you have all the skills that you need? Do you have all the certifications you need? Do you have the proven system that you need? Do you know how to coach yourself? Do you know how to keep yourself accountable? Do you know how to see what you can't see within yourself because you can't be objective with yourself? Do you know how to know when you are very resistant to change? Do you know how to be honest with yourself? Or do you find that it's much easier just to ignore a lot of things and just eat, right? So the quickest and easiest way to get the result of struggle-free permanent weight loss is to hire the coach that has the system, which is me, which is what I do with my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. By the way, if you are serious about ending this struggle once and for all, if you're serious about stopping the question, you're always asking yourself, what is wrong with me? Why is it that I'm so smart, I'm so successful professionally, but I can't stop overeating? What is the problem? Why can't I just follow the diet? Why is it that I make a New Year's resolution every year and it's over within 2 days? or it's over within 2 weeks for sure. I'm just back to the same old daily grind. Why can't I have the success with my body and with my fitness that I have professionally? What's wrong with me? If you want to stop asking yourself that, then, and if you want to give yourself the best weight loss present you could ever give yourself, go over to discovery-session.com and apply to talk to me one-on-one on the phone on a real-time live phone call. And I'll help you discover what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good. And also, maybe I will share with you what you can do about it. It depends on if it's a fit or not. If it's not, then I won't. But hey, you got to do something. If you just keep going as you are, where are you going to be a year from now? What's going to change? How do you get different results if you just keep doing the same thing? And what are the results that you get from making a New Year's resolution every year? Does that give you permanent weight loss? What's changed? Does that take away your binge eating? Does it take away your emotional eating? So let's go back to this question. The question I gave you to write down was, what would my life be like right now if I had no more struggle with food and my weight? All right. If you haven't already paused this podcast and written down all of the details of what your life would be like right now if you had no more struggle with food and your weight, then pause the podcast now and do that. The second question, how am I going to get radically different results with my body and with my eating and with my relationship with food if I just keep doing what I'm doing? How am I going to get different results if I just keep doing what I'm doing? And write down your answer. Pause the podcast. You need to take the time to really answer these questions for yourself. Number 3, what are my results going to be 1 year from now if I just do the same thing now that I've always done? Just make a New Year's resolution to lose weight. Tell myself that I'm going to do it. Yeah. Woo! What's my pattern? All you have to do is look at your past. If you do the same thing, you know what the results will be. So write down on your paper, what are my results going to be if I just do the same thing I've always done? My specific results. Where am I going to be 6 months from now, a year from now? Will I be at my ideal weight, and will I be completely free of the binge eating and the emotional eating and the food addiction and the yo-yo dieting and the low self-esteem and the low self-confidence and the ongoing self-doubts? Number 4 question, how the heck am I going to achieve permanent weight loss on my own? How the heck am I going to achieve permanent weight loss on my own? And what you need to do is write down, what are your proven steps? And if your proven steps are just doing another diet, like if you just write down, well, I'm going to go back to Weight Watchers, or I'm going to do paleo, or I'm going to do the South Beach diet. What's different? What is different? What is different? What has changed? Why are you going to succeed now? Oh, I'm just going to tell myself I'll do it. Okay, well, how many times have you done that before? And what results did you get? Does this make sense? In order to get radically different results, you've got to do something radically different. Otherwise, you'll just keep going as you are, and you'll just keep getting the same results you've always gotten. Maybe you've heard of Einstein's definition of insanity, which is when you continue to do the same things over and over and over again and expect a different result, that is insanity. And our good friend Albert Einstein said that himself. So, takeaway tips for today. Only you can give yourself the best weight loss present ever. Nobody's coming to save you. You can hire a coach. I mean, I definitely help and coach and mentor and empower my clients to get the results they want, but they still have to take action, right? There's no magic. Only you can stand up for you, and you have to believe that you're worth it. You have to believe that you deserve to have permanent weight loss. Another takeaway tip is what I just said. You have to believe that you deserve to have freedom from the struggle. You have to believe that you deserve this, and then you'll actually take action to get it. Another takeaway tip for today, you are deluding yourself and keeping yourself in the insane asylum if you keep telling yourself that doing the same thing is somehow going to give you different results. If you've always made a New Year's resolution to lose weight and it always goes the same direction, you already know what's going to happen. Why do you keep doing that to yourself? That's a really good question to ask yourself. Why do you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result? What is it that keeps you doing that? Is it a belief that you don't deserve to have something different? Or is there some kind of a programming inside of you that says, oh, well, maybe I didn't do it right last time, and this time I'll do it right and I'll get different results? What is that? That's something very interesting that you could look at. Of course, it'd be much more beneficial if you were working with a highly skilled coach so that you could figure that out and move beyond it. But that's a question you could ask yourself. It's a good question. All right, so be sure to head on over to thejolynnbraleyshow.com. Click like to like our Facebook page. You'll get a shout out from me on an upcoming episode. If you are already subscribed in iTunes, go ahead and give the show a 5-star rating. This is a 5-star show. This is not just some loop-de-loo show about, hey, drink water. It helps. Guess what? It does help to drink water, but you already knew that. Why aren't you doing it, right? Why is it so hard for you to drink 64 to 100 ounces of clean water every day? Why is it so hard for you to go for a walk 5 to 7 days a week? Why is it so hard for you to only put food in your mouth when you're physically hungry? See, these are all things you already know. They're nothing new. The JoLynn Braley Show is a 5-star show because I'm talking about the real issues. If you never heal the real problem, you'll never get the real results. When you give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, also give us a 5-star review. Share in a couple of sentences what's your biggest aha that you've gotten out of the JoLynn Braley Show. I'd love to read that. Next week's episode, the top 3 mistakes you're making with your New Year's resolution to lose weight. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, which is the proven proprietary step-by-step coaching system to permanent weight loss from the inside out. It ends your struggles. You can go to fearlessfatloss.com/show-bonus to grab my free 5-day e-course, and that will help you discover is your mindset fit or fat? And also, I'll share with you in there what you can do about that if you're serious about making changes. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you again soon. And you can also connect with me on Periscope. Follow me on Periscope at JoLynn Braley. And that would be a lot of fun too. Here's to your best life in your ideal body.